Alright, family and friends, we're going to go out and give some of these treats to our chickens and talk a little bit about what we give them, some of the different things we do, and some things that we don't give our chickens. You have to be careful because of their size. Some things that might be only slightly toxic to somebody a human size could be incredibly toxic to chickens. So let me get out here with our grub terra, black soldier fly larva, and some black oil sunflower seeds. Alright, family and friends, hopefully I don't get rained on here. We're due for rain today, but we do a lot of different treats for our chickens, just like people. We think they do good with a variety of different things. We do use layer pellets, and watched the video a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, on a friend of ours channel here in the community, Lead Farmer 73, and he talked about some of the issues with people thinking that layer feed was affecting their chicken negatively, and we can't say one way or another. We didn't have any problems with our chickens laying eggs. As we get more light, they lay more eggs. As we get less light in the cold months, they lay less eggs. So it was nothing out of the usual for us. But we don't just give them the layer feed. We do a lot of supplements. And when I say a lot, about 20% of what they get during the day is supplements from us. We have our forage mix that we grow around our chicken coop, which we grab handfuls of that, we'll throw it in. They love that. We use the grub terra, black soldier fly larva. They love that. And this time of year, during the cold months, we really like giving them the black oil sunflower seeds, which the extra fat helps them with their feathers, and putting on a little weight to help combat the cold. But we do try to avoid, another thing we give them, we do give them table scraps. And that was a comment that I left on Lead Farmer 73's channel when he talked about the commercial feed that we buy. That's something that's relatively new. Back in the older days, that wasn't something that a backyard chicken grower would give their chickens. They would give them table scraps. They would give them scraps from the garden, just like what we do here. The commercial feed, the layer feed, all that stuff, That was more for the big commercial growers who had, hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of chickens, because obviously they wouldn't have enough table scraps to give out. They wouldn't, they might not necessarily have, farm waste or garden waste to give to their chickens, like in the quantity that you would need. But we do. We have 5 hens. Most days we have a little bit of excess from cooking. We'll use some of the carrot tops. We'll have, just whatever. And we'll give that to the chickens too. But again, in moderation. If we have a lot of table scraps, we don't give them as much of the black soldier fly larva or the sunflower seeds or the forage mix we've got growing around the coop. But if we don't have any, then we feel comfortable giving them some extra, and we still give them the commercial feed. Again, that's a luxury for us. Back in the old days, families didn't go and buy 50 pounds of layer feed or grower feed or things like that. They gave the chickens what they have. But with that being said, as much as we like giving the chickens the treats, we don't want to give them too much, because if they get too overweight, it can cause health problems. Some treats that you give them, especially table scraps, you have to be careful, and this is where we say Google is your friend. I can't sit here and list off everything that's unsafe for your chickens to have. Some things that we know, like avocado, we don't give them avocado skins or any part of the avocado, actually, because that contains some toxins that can harm your chickens. If we give them apple scraps, we make sure we don't give them the apple seeds, because the tiny apple seeds can harm your chickens. It has a toxin in it, and because of our size, our body weight, if we accidentally swallow an apple seed, we'll be okay. If your chicken swallows an apple seed or 2 apple seeds, you may go out the next door and he may have gone to the upper room, as Broke Farmer likes to say. So you have to be careful, and it's good to give your chickens a variety of things. I'm not a chicken expert by any means. I don't have a PhD in chickenology, but again, Google is your friend. And one of the things me and my wife, Mrs. SG, we do, if we're about to give the chicken something new and we're not sure, we'll ask the other one, have you checked to see if that's okay for the chickens? If both of us, reply in the negative, we'll whip out our phone, we'll look up on Google, hey, is it okay to give chickens peaches? Is it okay to give chickens squash seeds? Whatever it is we're doing. And that way we make sure we keep our chickens as healthy and happy as possible. But chickens do love the scraps. They love, I think, almost anything more than the layer feed we give them, because it's kind of funny. Anytime we come out of our house and the chickens see us, they get excited because they think they may get something, and they have layer feed on demand, so anytime they want it, they can get it. But if we give them the sunflower seeds, the black soldier fly larva, they get excited, because another analogy I made with Lead Farmer 73, the layer feed as opposed to real food, and when I say real food, I mean the table scraps, the forage mix, the black soldier fly larva, the sunflower seeds, to me that's more real food. The pellets is, that's like Vienna sausages for us. We eat it, but we really don't know what's in it. We just know it fills us up. But to them, the real food compared to the layer feed is like a good southern meal compared to astronaut food. Nobody's going to leave a table of grits and collard greens and fried pork chops to, eat out of a tube up in an astronaut ship. So we try to keep our birds happy. The sunflower seeds and the black soldier fly larva also help them to get more exercise, because when they're scratching around in that, it keeps them active. We don't free range our chickens, so we want them to scratch and move around as much as they can inside their small run. And we give them the forage mix. You know, it could be right next to the pellets. They're going to eat up that forage mix we dump in there before they touch the pellets again. And the chickens seem to kind of know what they need. Like, we put in the calcium as a supplement. The calcium will sit there, they'll go over, they'll peck some of it, then they'll leave it alone. So I think their bodies know on an instinctive level if they need more calcium, if they don't. If we put in the little pellets that they need, the stone pellets that they need for mixing their food in their gut, they'll go and they'll, you know, peck some of it up, then they'll leave it alone. They'll go peck some up, you know, hours later, then they'll leave it alone. So they seem to pretty instinctively know what to get into, what not to get into. If they don't have treats in there, they'll eat up the forage mix, the feeder pellets when they're hungry. But yeah, we try to research as much as we can, but some of it's just, to us, common sense. And we know back 200 years ago they didn't have Google, so they kind of learned by doing. If they gave them apples and the chickens fell over dead, they knew, well, something in the apple is not good for the chickens, and they would, you know, maybe next time give it to them without the seeds and see if the chickens were okay. Yeah, but in nature, you know, the birds, they find what they can eat, they eat it, they stay away from the bad stuff, or they go up to the upper room. So real quick chat out here in the cold. I'm gonna go inside, get warmed up, maybe make breakfast for the family. They're moving around inside now. I told them I'd make omelets for them today, so I'm gonna go break a couple of eggs. Sorry, ladies, I'm gonna go break a couple of eggs and make some omelets. So hopefully this chat helps some people who are thinking about getting chickens, or who just have chickens and they're worried about what to give them. You know, the bags of commercial feed are a nice luxury. We get them, but you know, if you're only gonna give them table scraps and stuff from the garden, I think your chickens will do good too, especially if they free range, because then they can find the bugs and whatever else they want to eat that they need to stay healthy. So I'm headed in because it's getting cold. So on behalf of the family here at Essayons Family Garden, this is Rob the Sapper Gardener saying God bless our great country America. God bless you wherever you reside around the world. And if you're going to grow backyard chickens, boom, grow them up. Take care. Sapper out.